today's upload, and basically I've had my CPC. I've had about a CPC. And there was only two of us there. It's one of the things, when I organise my CPC, I do it via the agency. Because what they tend to do is they book a tutor, whatever you want to call them, an instructor I suppose, and get them to, however many of their guys they need to put through CPC, they send them in. So I tend to be in the training with people I know, but sometimes there's one or two of you. Last time I did it, it was at the same place, and there was only me. So it's like a one-on-one, nice and easy. And in those situations, you've got to do your 7 hours. You just go through everything. As long as you get through the course and you answer any questions that you might be posed, job's a good one. And today it was a case of just myself, the other guy. We did the full wallop. We stopped for lunch, as you do. And I was with Driver CPC for You. I could not remember the name of the company. I really couldn't. It was one of those kind of, because I've spoken about this before, and I couldn't remember the name of the company that we get sent to. Because like I said, I don't book it. We did Delivering Safety, which is all about basically health and safety at work. Whose responsibility is it? Operating safely, manual handling, protective equipment, slips, trips, falls, that kind of stuff. And then we went on to the old rules and regulations, your standard driver's hours, you know, that kind of stuff. There are lots of other modules that you can do, from how to deliver goods, welfare of the driver, fire awareness. I'm just picking a few from the list. They gave me a little list of things, you see, because I explained I do a YouTube thing. And obviously I can't YouTube a CPC lesson because I'd be giving it away for free. Damn it. But they just gave me various things like vulnerable road users, emergency and first aid, food safety, for example, if you're retail like myself. You got loads of different ones. I mean, there's lots more. And you just basically sit there and you watch a few videos, you read a bit, you have a discussion about things. Most places will give you a little written test at the end of each module just to see whether you've been paying attention. Just answer, it's easy enough. I mean, to be fair, usually you're in a room with other drivers and a question comes up and somebody will yell it out. It turns out that if you're known on YouTube, you get asked quite a few questions. But there's only two of us, so I'm going to get asked a few questions anyway. Outside of that, it's pretty simple. It's pretty standard stuff. Most of like the manual handling, the health and safety stuff, that kind of thing. If you've worked in an industry style thing or shelf stacking or something like that, you'll already know everything you need to know. I mean, first aid, again, first aid is first aid. If you've done first aid courses, you're gonna know. But realistically, it's pretty simple. Now, CPC trainers get a really bad rap. And I think that's unfair, personally. The reason I think it's unfair is because they're just doing the job that they have to do. Okay, CPC, whether you like it or whether you don't, is legislation. It's imposed. It has to be done. Okay, whether you like it or whether you don't, whether you want to call it legislation or not, I don't really care. But it has to be done. Okay, that's just it. It's your driver qualification card. Certificate of Professional Competence, I believe. And it doesn't matter whether you like it or not, whether you think it's a waste of time. It's got to be done. So, just grow up and do it. The issue is, let's say you work for a company, okay, you're a company guy. You got to do your CPC. Fine. Company pay for it, lay it all on, send you in. Most likely it's done on site, depending on who you work for. It's a day at work, you're paid, they pay the cost of it, everyone's happy. It's just a day without driving. And I know a lot of company guys who love doing the CPC because it's a day's pay and they don't have to drive. The issue is with CPC Agency. Nothing against agencies, it's just agency, okay? Because you're a limited company, self-employed. You don't get paid if you're not driving, you don't get paid for holiday, you don't get paid for sick, you don't get the pension benefits or anything like that. And what you end up having to do is take a day off work. You then have to, excuse me, a light started flashing on the screen, I was just making sure that it wasn't running out of battery. You then have to pay for the course itself. Now this one was including VAT, £60. I know some are higher, you might be some places that are slightly lower, depending on where you are in the country, whatever. I mean, around my area this is the cheapest, by far. There's a place 10 minutes down the road, I think I've mentioned it before, I don't think I mentioned the place, but there's a place down the road. And it's like 89, 90 quid, plus VAT and everything else, and there's certain places that are 140 quid, but that's if you do the entire things, they charge you some stupid amount for a week's worth of like old crap. But your agency, so you end up taking a day off, and it does legally count towards your working time. When you put in your digicard, if you had the day off before, like I do, and I strongly advise you do this, you do your week, have a day off, then do your CPC the next day, then go back to work, because you've got your day's rest, job's a good one. You've then got your CPC, you have to record that as other work. So it's other work, you do your break as you would other work for X amount of hours, break, according to Working Time Directive, or whenever you took the break if you can remember. Then a bit more work to the end, and then rest. And then it's rest all the way up till you start your shift, and that's how you record it. Now, excuse me. Now, the issue with that is, let's say you've done 2 days, you've worked a week, you've done your 1 day off, now you're working 6, now you've got to take another 2 days off, so you've done 5, 5, 5. So if you like me and you do 5, 6, 5, 6, you're down a day. You've got to go down another day because you've got to repay at some point, so you're going to lose it anyway. So you're losing all of this money, and that's where CPC trainers become the enemy. And the thing is, you're losing your day's pay, you're having to pay for the privilege and everything else, and yada 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 yada. And they're telling you, more often than not, they're telling you stuff you already know. They're just going back over it, and it's kind of, fair enough, whatever, who cares. The point with CPC, and I think this should be the point of CPC, is you go in, you do bits and bobs, but it tackles new legislation that may have come in, or that may be coming in, or CPC itself you cannot fail. So what you can actually do, for example, you book delivering safety, and you book rules and regulations, okay? For this one, okay, so you've got to do 5, haven't you? Then you book delivering safety, rules and regulations for the next one. Delivering safety, rules and regulations for the next one. Delivering safety, rules and regulations for the one after that, until you've done all 5. It still counts. Bonkers. This place, because we go through the agency, they monitor what you've done and they put you on a different one each time. It makes more sense as far as I'm concerned. But with CPC it should be, of course, you've done that, that's ticked off. It comes up on your record, for example, then you do another course and so on and so on and so forth. So you're always doing different things. And it should really, I personally think, focus on new legislation, changes to legislation, potential changes with legislation, and just a refresher of the highway code, for example. That's my personal theory. But out of that, it was quite simple. Did the CPC, like I said, you can't fail it. It's bizarre. The person who's taking you for CPC, if you are going to be one of those drivers that's like, say whatever you want, mate, I don't care. Whatever. I'm here for 7. You know, if you're going to be disengaged, if you're going to be like that, then the guy who's doing it can actually just ask you to leave. And he can just say, well, I'm not going to submit that you've completed it. See, you know, take it a bit seriously at least. But the issue is, because of the guys who lose money like myself, it's annoying. You know, you're losing money. Maybe you've experienced a ban. You've been sat down for a week. So now you've really lost money. I mean, a week for me is 800, 900 quid. So now I've lost that. I've lost an extra day of work. I've had to pay 60 quid. I'm going to lose another day next week paying back the rest. It adds up, you see. And so you can get really aggravated with it. And the issue is, the poor twit who's doing the CPC stuff, it's not his fault. Or her fault. I've only ever dealt with blokes taking the courses. I'm sure women do as well, but it was a bloke today. It's not that poor person's fault. You know, they're just there, it's their job, they've got to do it. And they seem to be... You know when you've got an issue with your bank, and you go into the bank, and you've got the cashier. It's a low-level job, low paid, but they're the face of the company. And you offload at them. Then you find the manager, and you offload at the manager. The CPC trainer is the face of CPC. You know when you're driving along, you're at work, and somebody takes their aggression out on you because you're a truck driver, you're in the way, you're slow, you're whatever. You're the face of trucking. Okay, so they take it out on you. It doesn't feel very nice, does it? It's not to do with you. It's just you're big, you're slow, you're in their way, they're going to... It's not nice. Well, that's the CPC trainer. You know, what you're doing to him is what gets done to you by all the idiot four-wheelers. All the little cars. It's not nice, is it? The only thing with CPC is go in, listen, have a chat, have a laugh, see what you can come up with. Maybe you learn something. Chances are, if you're experienced, you don't. And then go home. And that's what I say. Just go in, do it, have a chat, you know, discuss various different things. Whether you believe in it or not, doesn't matter. And then go home. And there you go. And anyway, that's just CPC. For me anyway, because I've just done it. Now, as you saw in yesterday's one, I made a minor technical adjustment to my laptop because it was broken. And, you know, you got to try and fix things when they're broken, haven't you? Well, it worked, you see. I've got a new HP. So, well, way round. It worked. The minor technical adjustment, it worked. So I'm going to be setting this up. Now, this is for a company venture that myself and Simon are getting involved in, and it's to do with YouTube. Now, I'm not going to go into details about it because I don't want anybody nicking my ideas, but it's going to be to help people who want to get into trucking, maybe even experienced drivers, things like that. One thing is we're going to basically brand my channel. I'm going to monetize it in the not too distant, so you're probably going to start seeing adverts. And we're going to sell bits and bobs through there. We're going to do, you know, the general stuff. We're going to work together on doing various bits and bobs. Like I said, I don't want to go into detail because I don't want anybody nicking the idea yet. But the entire point of having a secondary laptop, because I've got 3, so it's not really a secondary, it's a tertiary. Get me words out one day. But the entire point of it is I've got my personal laptop, okay, and I've got a business laptop, if that makes sense. You know, whatever. So you're sending emails to clients or suppliers or professional. Well, you send an email to one of your friends on your personal laptop. Chances are, because they're your friend, you're having a bit of a giggle, and you might send some choice phrases or words that you call your friends. We all know what I mean. If you decide to use the same laptop for business and friends, what happens if in that list of contacts you click the wrong contact? Because a lot of people will have their personal laptop and they'll use it for their business, and they'll have a single email address. Their mates have it, their customers and suppliers have it. Yeah? You click the wrong name, or you reply to the wrong message, you might lose a customer, you might lose a supplier, and the cat is now using the scratching post. That's why it started shaking, sorry about that. I used the scratching post to put the camera on, and the cat decided instead of using the seat that he always uses, he's going to use the bleeding post. The one that uses a post isn't in it. He uses a seat. Git. Anyway, going back to the subject. You're going to lose a customer, you're probably going to lose a supplier, and depending on what you've said, depends on whether you get sued. So what I do, it's like my little blue book versus, say, a diary versus something else. What I do is I have one laptop, one business email address, one digit. I have my personal one, and obviously I want to end up with a proper gaming laptop for vlog editing so I can go real high quality. But at the moment this is going to be my works one. Probably my investing one as well, because the Toshiba's a bit, dead now. Well, technically it's fixed. And obviously my other HP, Tadaa, is my personal one and my vlog editing one at the moment. So that's what I'm planning on doing. But anyway, I think I've dragged this on long enough. There goes the cat again. Why is he doing this? Why is he doing this to me? He's going to do it again in a minute. I know he is. Right, let's stop him from doing it. Yep. There we go. It's this one. It's this little bugger. No. But he's the one. He uses that chair all the time. As soon as I do this, I want to scratch that one. But anyway, I'm going to open this up, and I don't have anything to open it up with. This is not going well for me today. But I was going to say, I think I've dragged this on long enough. No, I haven't. It's me. Who cares? You don't see me very regularly anymore. So, sod you. There we go. That's the easiest way of doing it. Now, it's just a basic HP one. It was 380 quid. Yeah, 379. Reduced from 500, but that's because it's iCore 3, 8 gig of RAM if you're curious, 1 terabyte hard drive. If it bugs me, it'll be introduced to the floor again. Slight technical adjustment. But if you're curious, my technical adjustment to my Toshiba resulted in that. There we go. I'm going slowly to try and stop it from blurring out. I don't know whether it's blurred out, but there we go. But yes, I'm going to be... The company I bought this from, Curry's PC World. Don't have a go at me. Don't need it. Just done CPC. It was on the way home. They've decided to start doing a pre-set up laptop. Now you get your basic laptop. Obviously you get it home, you turn it on, it uploads itself. Then you've got to do all the updates and so on and so forth. But they've started to do pre-set up ones. Now looking at the tape on this, I would say that it's pre-set up at the factory. because it's the same tape, top and bottom. And the pre-set up ones are 40 quid more expensive. Why? I mean, why? And I went in, they said, oh, well, the pre-set up ones, no, I don't want a pre-set up one, I just want a standard one. I don't want to pay the extra 40 quid for something I can do by pressing a button. And so he went round and he had a look, came back, and he said, well, we've got no non-pre-set up ones. So, on good faith, they sold me a pre-set up one for a non-pre-set up one's value. So, yeah, that seems a bit strange to me. But whatever. But anyway, I'm going to plug this in. The thing with laptops that annoy me is they don't have removable batteries anymore. And that bugs the absolute nuts out of me. Because when I've got a very slow internet connection, so when I upload, I leave things plugged in. Now, the issue with leaving batteries plugged in is they can fail and they can go bang. And fire can ensue and loads of other things. Now, that's not to say that the laptop itself can't go wrong and the same thing happen. But batteries can have a tendency to go bang. So, I prefer laptops where you can take the battery out because you can plug it in, no battery in it. And that's what I like to do. So my uploading laptop will probably always be that red HP because it seems every laptop you look at now, it's sealed. The battery is in there, there is nothing you can do. And it just seems, it's just annoying. I kept looking at the screen just then, sorry about it. It's just annoying. Because you're like, well, why can't I remove the battery? I mean, why is that such a bad option? Because when the battery starts to fail, you used to be able to buy a new one, and they're lovely jubbly. Now it's a case of, well, it's all a sealed unit. I mean, okay, you can undo the screws, probably open it up, and if you've got a bit of savvy with one of these things, and you don't use gravity to fix them like I do, then okay, there might be a way around it. And again, this one, with the screws underneath, it looks like you can open it up. So, it's got 8 gig of RAM in it. It's got an i3 processor, which isn't the best, I know, but it's been around for a bit. It's tried and tested. Might see Simon, because he's all into building computers himself, you know, he's got this old computer. Oh, how old is it now? It's a few years old. It's about 10 years old. And this is 8 gig of RAM, a terabyte hard drive, an i3. Well, he's changed that computer so much that it's about 4 terabyte hard drive. It's got, I think it's 8 gig of RAM. And he just kind of builds his own thing. He takes them apart and keeps updating them, and then eventually the board itself, you know, it's just not compatible anymore, and then he upgrades. So I might see him about graphics and see what we can do with this if we can open it, because there's screws in it. But I don't have a bloody clue about that stuff, obviously. Now some people are going to say, no, you should have got a MacBook, or no, you should have got that. I avoid Apple products, okay, I just do it. Me, it's a personal thing. And, oh, well, you got HP, you should have got a blah, blah, blah. The one I've been using to do all of my vlogs on is HP. Okay, it's started to reset itself. You know, every so often it shuts down and reloads, which is annoying. But it was a couple of years old when I started doing this, and I'm not the most gentle touch when it comes to if it's annoying me. Like I said with the Toshiba yesterday, all I did was give it a gentle punch and it stopped working. Gentle punch. It nearly vibrated Simon's beer over. I did it a bit hard, I'll give you your due there. But HP works for me. I've had lots of HP laptops Now I usually renew them once a year, once 18 months, everything like that. Lots of my mates have my old HP. My other half's got one of my old HP laptops. I've never had any issues with them. I mean, okay, that one restarts every so often and it's annoying. But outside of it being annoying, it doesn't just crash, die, and it needs to be recovered and a new recovery disk and a new operating system and it just, okay, it restarts, it's a pain in the rear end, I haven't uploaded, I have to continue upload when I go home, that kind of thing. That's annoying, but it works. So, anyway, I just thought I'd show you my laptop, tell you I'd done my CPC. I don't do much at the moment. I'm not doing daily at the moment, as you well know. What I do is I do a couple of them. I do a few on my days off, and then I'll upload them daily. And then I won't upload anything for a while, and then I'll do a few on my day off, upload them, and then so on and so forth. Although what I might do is upload one every other day, because if I make enough content on my days off, every other day I can probably keep it going. I'm always thinking, you see. But anyway, cheers for watching. I've got to figure this out now, and I'm going to turn it on, hopefully it works. Otherwise there'll be another little add-on to this one of me doing a gentle adjustment to this and all. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Like, subscribe, share about, do whatever it is you usually do. I'll see you in the next one, which I don't know when that's going to be. But anyway, cheers for watching and take care.